Imagine for a moment a boxer who had even greater knockout power than the legendary Mike Tyson. Tommy Morrison was truly a knockout machine, delivering devastating consequences with $1 million right hand.
There it is. Come on, punch. That's it. That's what I'm talking about.
Tommy has to take his jabs, his right hands, and just wing it.
Unfortunately, the former world boxing champion, also known for his role in the movie Rocky V, had his career tragically cut short, completely shaking the world of boxing. Born on January 2nd, 1969, Tommy Morrison grew up in the southern United States with Irish and Native American ancestry. The future champion had a natural talent for sports. He excelled in both football and basketball. But his true gift was about to be revealed. At a mere 10 years old, he had his first boxing experience, which revealed his true purpose. Tommy's family had always been involved in the world of sports and was proud of their son's talent. When Tommy turned 15, his body was already fully developed, resembling a 23-year-old athlete. This gave him the opportunity to fight in several events against adult fighters, as his mother falsified IDs to allow him to face older opponents. In 1988. Right after leaving school, Tommy had already accumulated a record of over 200 amateur boxing matches, thus forming a 19-year-old prodigy who had just entered the professional world. His appearance commanded respect. A young man 6 feet tall and weighing over 200 pounds was enough to shake any fighter of that era of boxing. Right at the beginning, with his greater reach, he delivered such powerful blows to Tommy. Keeping out of reach of his opponent and causing Tommy to lose control of the fight. After 9 minutes of fighting, the two remained in the line of fire for a while in the ring, until Tommy Morrison landed an impressive sequence of close-range blows that exploded on Ali's chin.
The right hand bombing. Ruddock just missed with that result to this point. Ruddock did not parlay. We had it in round two. Never in a million years did Tommy Morrison.
Ali recovered, but Tommy continued to attack.
People think he would go down. Ruddock hadn't shown that in other fights, and it wasn't in a situation.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
Throughout the summer, Morrison continued to demonstrate his skills, completely dominating his opponents, accumulating a pile of 11 knocked-out bodies. A famous manager, who was responsible for Mike Tyson's rise, brought with him a large professional team that helped Tommy enter much more relevant events. This partnership led to several comparisons, stating that Tommy Morrison possessed even greater knockout power than Mike Tyson himself. In September, Rick Ennis, an experienced fighter who promised to stay away from Tommy's hooks, found this mission almost impossible. With 21 wins and 18 knockouts, he tried to maintain distance at the beginning of the fight against Tommy, but Tommy began to spread Dave's movements and ended the confrontation with a beautiful left hook, showing the world what the American football giant came to do in boxing. That left hook exploded on Dave's face, putting Tommy's name on all television networks. This impact was so significant for a 20-year-old that it even caught the attention of Sylvester Stallone, who invited him to star in the next Rocky movie. During pre-production, the Duke fought twice to promote the movie, wearing shorts from Stallone's own franchise, who was present at these fights. Rocky IV was so successful that it attracted new lovers to the noble art of boxing, and at that time, Tommy took full advantage of this success, getting involved with many women who dreamed of having a moment with the legend from the movie. From this point on, Tommy's career as a professional boxer skyrocketed, knocking down 28 fighters in his path, 3 of whom had to be hospitalized due to head injuries caused by Tommy's powerful blows.
Now that wasn't a perfect left hook, and yet it still gave Rick Ennis all kinds of trouble.
In October 1991, the 22-year-old faced Ray Mercer, an Olympic gold medalist champion who already had a record of 17 wins and 12 knockouts. When the fight began, Tommy landed several blows against the medalist, who bravely resisted a flurry of punches for 5 rounds. However, Tommy eventually ran out of gas, opening space for him to impose his game and work as a true Olympic champion. This clash was marked as one of the most brutal moments in boxing history. After a period of physical and emotional recovery, Morrison returned to the rings in February '92, winning 4 consecutive victories to regain his world heavyweight title.
Fighting an opponent who was nearly as the one he had tonight. He looked better in his next fight, and tonight he topped it off.
And there we see him now.
However, it was not an easy task when he faced Joe Hip. Hip faced all kinds of problems a boxer can encounter inside the ring. A Native American with a granite chin put Tommy's heart to the test. After suffering a powerful right hook, he came back from the dead.
Now that wasn't a perfect left hook, and yet it still gave Rick Ennis all kinds of trouble. Last knockdown before they stopped it. Nice uppercut.
And ended up being knocked out. But at that moment, Joe fractured his jaw and Tommy injured his hand.
Uppercut to knock Jose Ribalta out. Let's get the official word now from Michael Buffer.
In June 1993, Tommy finally got another chance to reclaim his crown as world heavyweight champion.
That's the 8th time this young man has had a KO in the first round. The winner.
Former world champion George Foreman agreed to participate in an epic fight between the two. Foreman was a boxing icon from the 70s who had only been defeated by the legendary fighter Muhammad Ali.
2:45 in the first round. Didn't take long. Most impressive win for a most impressive young.
Even 2 decades later, George was still considered one of the most feared boxers. But Morrison was not intimidated by this. He landed powerful blows and won the fight on points, entering the elite club of heavyweights. His first title defense occurred in August 1993. Facing a character in boxing who loved pies and fudges, drank beer before fights, and fought for only a few $1,000.
Now that wasn't a perfect left hook, and yet it still gave Rick Ennis all kinds of trouble.
Tommy didn't like this fighter's antics and ended the fight with more style, giving him his much-desired minute of fame.
Left-handed puncher and clubbed him with a good right hand.
At this moment, Tommy's career faced a terrifying challenge. A fight against the feared fighter of the time, Michael Bent, and this fight would be for the WBC belt against Lennox Lewis. Tommy got up, fell twice more in just a minute and a half, and lost due to the 3 knockdown rule. Once again, Tommy's life took different directions, but he always returned to training much better than before. He began a sequence of 3 consecutive victories, never failing to enjoy his fame with beautiful women. After 4 consecutive knockouts, Morrison got the dream fight against Lennox Lewis, considering that at the time he was the most technical heavyweight boxer. In the second round, the fight turned into a real war, and once again we witnessed the story of an incredible fighter being knocked down, showing why Lennox Lewis was the champion of the category. In February 1996,
Let's get the official word now from Michael Buffer.
Morrison's life changed drastically at the age of 27 when he tested positive for HIV. From then on, Morrison's life went downhill. Drinks, substances, and prison became the new reality for the champion, who disappeared from television for 10 years. In 2007, a shocking statement was released claiming that Morrison's positive diagnosis was incorrect. Anyway, after 10 years in the underworld, slowly destroying himself due to his belief that he was sick, Morrison believed he was no longer ill and, at 38, reapplied for his boxing license. He participated in some fighting events, but fans found the former heavyweight champion's poor physical condition strange. In the late 2000s, Tommy finally hung up his gloves. Despite the gym being his favorite place, he maintained strong contact with his two sons, who followed their father's legacy. Both inherited the disease and the devastating power of Tommy. However, in 2013, Tommy could no longer move on his own and passed away on the first day of September at the age of 44. In the 90s, Tommy Morrison, the young white giant, became known worldwide as the most feared heavyweight, with 48 wins, 42 of them by knockout, and only 3 losses throughout his journey. Despite the challenges faced by the world, Morrison went through a crisis due to an illness that ended up taking his life. However, this does not diminish the brilliant trajectory of one of the most feared boxers in the history of this sport. If you like this story, leave your like and suggest what you would like to see here on this channel.